I'm Dr. Rick Wilson from Rice University, and this is Polytricks. Despite significant female educational advances, gender differences persist in the labor market. Well, what causes this glass ceiling? A paper appearing in the American Economic Review by Linda Babcock, Maria Recalde, Lisa Vesterlund, and Lori Weingart points to the fact that men ignore tasks that are essential to an organization but are unlikely to result in promotion. Women, on the other hand, are more likely to take on low promotability tasks. We all know about such tasks, like, for instance, who's going to volunteer to sit on a committee rather than work on their own research? Who's going to take notes in a meeting rather than speaking out? But how do we find good evidence that men and women behave differently in these settings? Babcock et al. Use a carefully designed experiment to tease out the differences between men and women. Participants are recruited to the lab and are randomly and anonymously assigned to 3-person groups. They're told to make 10 decisions, and after each decision they're randomly assigned to a new group. Well, the decision is simple. Someone must decide to invest 75 cents before time runs out. The group can't communicate, and it's given 2 minutes. If no one invests before the clock runs out, everyone receives $1. If one person decides to invest, that person makes $1.25, and the other 2 players make $2. Well, volunteering then is costly, and those who don't volunteer are better off. No one, except the person volunteering, knows who makes the investment. What happened? Well, there's an 84% investment rate, and more than 3/4 of the investment choices are made in the last 2 seconds. Over 10 rounds, women invested 3.4 times on average, while men invested only 2.3 times. This 48% difference in total investment is striking. It might be that men believe women are more likely to volunteer and as a result refuse to invest. Or it could be that women believe that men will never volunteer, so they do so. To tease apart these beliefs, Babcock et al. Returned to a second experiment. Here they recruit all male and all female groups. Subjects are not told that they were part of a same-sex group. However, this should have been obvious by looking around the lab. In this setting, there is no difference in the average number of investments, 2.67 for men and 2.71 for women. The success rates for each of the groups goes down, 80% for men and 81% for women. It appears from this that the differences between men and women are due to the beliefs about others. In the final part of their study, the researchers want to know if women are more likely to be asked to volunteer. The third experiment adds a 4th member to the group, and photos are taken of everyone. Everyone's asked to look over the photos and choose the person they will request to make an investment. One of the 4 members is randomly chosen to make the request and cannot invest. Otherwise, everything was the same as before. In this setting, the request coordinates behavior. 93% of the groups succeed in investing, and 1/3 of the investments are made in the first 10 seconds of the round. But sure enough, women are asked more than men. This is true whether the requester is a male or female. As the researchers note, relative to men, women are more likely to volunteer, more likely to be asked to volunteer, and more likely to accept direct requests to volunteer. Well, this accumulation of volunteering puts the volunteer at a relative disadvantage. Turn-taking or random assignment, not volunteering, might be the way to ensure everyone bears the cost for low promotability tasks. This is a well-done study. Read it yourself.